This is a Witchy Films podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Haven't Seen It, the show where we show each other films that some of us haven't seen yet. Today we are watching the 2025 film Wake Up Dead Man, directed by Rian Johnson. My name is Nathaniel Stoner, and I have not seen today's film. My name is Matthew Harskowich, and I have seen today's film.
My name is Jacob French, and I have seen today's film.
You guys have seen today's film?
Yes.
I have not. Can you give me a brief synopsis of what this movie's about?
So there's this man, okay,
Yes. Okay.
and he wakes up, he's dead.
Oh, okay.
Man.
Interesting.
There's a lot of knives. They're all out. Oh my God, there's so
Oh.
many knives out.
All right, so without further ado, let's start today's film. Who has the remote? Oh, the remote is over there. Okay. We have a new soundboard, ladies and gentlemen, that has a lot of fun sound effects. Okay, just start the damn. Okay, we're starting the movie.
Are you recording?
Yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fine for yeah.
All right, we just finished watching Wake Up Dead Man. This is my first time seeing the movie. I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Probably I liked it a lot more than Knives Out. If I'm being honest, Knives Out was really good, but this one was just so much more to unpack and so much. I want to say meatier than
Yeah.
Knives Out. While Knives Out was still really good, it was just this was so. I have, you guys can see I have like 10 pages of notes.
Yeah, we took notes this time. We got a lot of them.
A lot.
Now,
I do have a note page that just says Jeremy Renner on the top, so I guess I only really have 9 note pages. But
you mentioned Knives Out when you were talking about like your reaction
Yes.
to this one. Have you seen Glass Onion?
I have not seen
You've not
Glass
seen
Onion.
Glass Onion. Okay.
That is, that's somewhere on my watch list.
Future episode.
Future episode.
That's-
That is a future episode.
Yes.
That's one of the things I also like about these movies is that you don't have to watch the other ones
Yes.
to get this one.
Mhm.
Yes.
And like it kind of you not know what to expect because you don't know what to expect, but you know to expect the unexpected if you've watched the previous ones, and you know like this is going to be good, and it makes it a lot. I don't want to say like easier to watch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first Knives Out, I was like, oh, I don't think this is going to get answered. This isn't going to get answered because I'm just so used to movies not answering every detail, especially even if they're like a murder mystery. It's usually like, oh, well, a bunch of red herrings are thrown in there.
Yeah.
There is not a single red herring in either of these.
If there is a red
and
herring.
if there is, it's because
Yeah.
you're concluding that it's a red herring and you're piecing it together. The movie's never like, oh, look, Jeremy Renner is holding the same knife that the killer was holding. So you think it's Jeremy Renner, but it's not. But you'll see like, oh, Jeremy Renner was in the same room as where the knife was. Maybe that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It never goes out of its way to trick you.
And
But
One instance I can think of them doing that.
when
he's using the picture and they focus on the bag.
See,
oh,
but
that's the
no,
one.
you're focusing on the bag.
Yeah.
and
It's when the camera zooms in on the bag.
and it's the
I-
characters are shown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
I
it's
guess
more
it
of
is.
just there was 2 pieces of information in that, and only one of them was being highlighted, but you could still see the other. It's so important whether they get his flowers.
Because that could happen after that. How do you know he died from being stabbed? Yeah, there was something in the flask. It's fine. It's part of the crime scene.
Okay.
Oh, he's just like... But wouldn't they have been able to tell because of his blood alcohol levels during the autopsy?
Just watching the movie.
Well, just gargle my balls.
We're not answering questions. It's a murder mystery.
I hate
It's
you.
a mystery for a reason, aren't it?
Wait! But I feel like that's not going to be explained.
Oh.
Wait, how many hours in this movie? I have got answers to everything. What are you talking about?
I think the fact that you can watch these movies without having seen the other ones really shows you that Benoit Blanc as a character, I mean, he's very clearly not the main focus of this, like most
Yeah.
detective novels are, or detective movies are, is that he's really just a thematic device for the main character
Yes.
to display the themes of the movie that Rian Johnson is hiding behind a murder.
But despite that, Benoit Blanc still has an arc in this movie.
Yes.
He
He
does.
still has an arc where he walks in and actually like I found him very relatable like to like my own views of like religion in this movie, where like it's cool, the architecture's cool, but it's kind of just the story. And like the way they take that, and he learns throughout this case that it means more to like some people, that it's a story, but it's a story that gives them purpose, it gives them value. So him letting Martha give her own confession to the crime instead of just solving it in front of everybody, that was him being like, no, she needs this, she needs this release, because he saw that like she was going to die from the tranquilizer. And so just giving him that arc, it's so good to me. And yeah.
So gross. And I love, again, how we don't ever waste time. There's not a second wasted in either of those movies. I'm not sure about Glass Onion, but if I had to take a guess, there was not a second wasted. Yeah. And I love how not a second is wasted, but the characters still have arcs. The plot is always moving, but we never stop to be like, oh, but what's Jeremy Renner really feeling right now? Let's dissect that and slow down, like a horrible English class. Like you just go and it keeps going, and the characters go with you. I think it's really good.
I think the set design and just the general look of this movie
It's
is
so good.
amazing.
Yes.
It's so good.
I mean,
I love it.
the lighting, and it's cueing these, like, as they would say, the road to Damascus moments, just these characters having this big epiphany. I love the lighting.
Mm-hmm. I love, what's it called? I love how we never leave the church. We come to the church, and then we never leave. Like, it is on, we do, like, literally leave the building, but we never leave the grounds, and that makes this movie feel so much.
The bar.
Besides the bar, I lied. I'm a big
The
liar.
police station.
No, I mean, there's always a few. You go to the
The
Nats, you go to Dr. Nats'
You go to
house.
the
Oh,
police
shoot, yeah, the
There's a
police
few
station.
times when
Yeah.
we're elsewhere. But
The majority of the movie
Yeah,
is
sorry,
on
let
the
me-
grounds
let
of the
me-
church.
yeah.
Yes.
99% of the movie is the church, and we never, like, we go to 2 locations, and we never return to them.
Yes.
Like, we see, like, the visual of the bar and stuff. Like, the picture it and flashbacks and whatnot. But we stay at the church, because it makes the movie feel so much more compact, because you're never, like, you have to remember less, if that makes sense, so it takes up less brain space.
Well, even in the bar, there's still
You
the
never-
devil imagery.
Yeah,
So there's still
it's
imagery
still-
of religion. The only place that they travel to where there's no sign of religion is the police station. Because, kind of paralleling Benoit Blanc's arc in this movie, the police station, it's all about the logic, the facts, how this case could have been done with
Morgue.
every fact.
They go
At
to
the morgue, there's none. It's just like, okay, let's look at this body. Whatever the crime was committed with is in the body, instead of looking at the wider picture, which Benoit Blanc learns to do from getting away from the police station and being like, hey, Mila Kunis, like, kind of like, piss off, like, I'm gonna do this. And just that dissection of his character through the locations that they visit. And I know we just mentioned the lighting, and also behind us is the sun. In this first scene with Benoit Blanc, when Father Judd is talking about like what religion means to him, there's an explicit sighting of the sun beaming down on him,
Yes.
and kind of like clearing up the room, which is paralleled at the end with Benoit Blanc solving the case. He's about to solve it. Then the same ray of sun from the same window beams down on him, and he gets it. He has to let Martha do it. I know this is the second time I've talked about his arc in the span of like 5 minutes, but it's
I wanted to talk about Father Wicks's character
yes.
himself.
Such a dickhead.
One of the first things I noticed was whenever he meets Judd, he goes, "Welcome to my church."
Mhm.
It's not welcome to
Mm.
our church as a broader spectrum of this is the people of this town, and and then later on in Sai's recording of his last sermon, when he is slamming his fists and yelling and right before he's murdered, I thought it kind of parallels leaders throughout history and their general posture and their actions and their movements during these speeches that they get to trick people into thinking things that they want them to think, the slamming of the fists and the
Yes.
yelling. And also whenever he yells
Shall not pass.
"You shall not pass," when he's comparing himself to an all-powerful figure who is facing this huge, massive enemy that is the world. And also in Lord of the Rings,
Yes.
Gandalf gets resurrected to Gandalf the White, just like Wix gets resurrected, and he's wearing his white robe and everything. Well, resurrected. He's confronting the flock, and he says, "I'm gonna shake the sand of this church off my sandals." He is literally comparing himself to Jesus.
Mhm.
He is calling himself Jesus.
Sounds like a certain president. Doesn't that remind you guys of a
Cut it.
certain political
Cut it.
figure?
Cut it.
Doesn't
Cut
that-
it. Another interesting thing that I found was the conversation between Cy and Judd whenever we first meet Judd, or whenever we first meet Cy as a character. I found it really interesting that Cy is talking about, he's hammering all these things. You know, he quotes the trans thing and the abortion thing and whatever. He's trying to draw people in with hate, and it's not working. Where on the opposite side, Judd is trying to draw people in with love, and it is working. And that's just a theme present throughout the movie, is just how people, powerful people, are using just hatred to get us into thinking what they think.
Which Andrew Scott's character in this, the writer, I don't remember his name. Lee. Reminded me a lot of J.K. Rowling. Just how it was like,
Yeah.
okay, these I'm quoting the movie here. These libtards, they don't like my books, so it must be their fault for not getting it because they're not smart enough. And literally building a moat around his fucking house
that was
just to be like, oh, I'm keeping out all these dirty liberals.
Just in case you
Just-
didn't get the metaphor, he literally
Yeah.
builds a moat around his house.
And just going like, because thanks, Jake. A big part of kind of like modern like religion and like conservatism are like these figureheads being like, no, these people have different views from you, and that's bad. And how this film uses like this very modern issue to kind of like dissect the structure of religion and like the characters' motivations. How you see like Father Judd wanting to help people like here, not here. Like they do that a bunch.
And notice both of them are the same rank in the church. Not even. Like, they both are under the same thing, and you can have... I love how it shows there is a good side to religion. As of recent, I cannot blame a lot of people for being more cynical towards religion.
Yes.
Because of the just sheer amount of terrible people using it as a mask. But I know for a fact, and I love that this movie highlights this, there are genuinely good people in religion that genuinely believe what they're saying and don't... I love how Father Judd ends up on top. Like, he literally runs the same church that was once used to spread evil, to spread love and compassion to... I think he says, like, show the wicked love or something. That I love that he ends up triumphing over using religion as evil, and someone who he literally says, I don't believe any of this. I cannot wait to get wipe the dust of this church off my sandals.
Yeah.
I love that someone who genuinely believes in religion triumphs over someone who is using religion as a facade for their own personal gain.
Mm-hmm.
And I love how it's shown in the end when the name of the church is changed from Our Lady of Perpetual Fortitude to Our Lady of Perpetual Grace. Fortitude being building yourself in, and grace literally named after the woman who died in the church because of the church.
Which something technical with the filmmaking that Rian Johnson does in all his films is showing a scene from one character's point of view and then showing what actually happened. And the difference is there. Because in the first time we see Wix's mother, she enters the church, there's this giant red sun behind her, and it's framed like this woman is a pure amalgamation of evil, a harlot whore. And it shows her tearing this place apart. And they show the young Martha talking to her, and you don't see what the kid's actually saying. You just hear what Martha said that she said in the past. and just showing that, and it makes it look like, oh, okay, this woman destroying the church is like evil. But then at the end of the film, we see what actually happened. There was no red sun. There was no dark overtone to it. It was a woman that was desperate. And this little girl that comes in and just says, I know where it is. You can't find it. And yeah,
Oh my
and
God.
just showing that difference.
And when she's laughing when Grace is
Oh my god,
Punch her
yeah.
in the face. That's wicked. That's evil, man.
Yeah.
I never even clocked that.
Mhm.
That you don't hear what she actually says. You just hear what Martha is saying that she said. I didn't even notice that.
Also, just because I mentioned the technical aspects, that hallway scene with Jeremy Renner dying,
Oh yeah.
that must have been like the toughest thing to film because they had one take at that. All the stuff shattering and falling off because that has to be there
Yes.
later when they find that crime scene. So I can only imagine like how hard
Well,
that
they
was
can-
to film.
I mean,
like,
they could redo Jeremy Renner breaking stuff.
that
If
would
they-
be
if
a
they had-
long reset.
Yeah, if they
though.
had a lot of duplicates, they could. So I think they must have just done it like one time and been like, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But imagine messing that up. Imagine like he gets like halfway to the hallway and then he stumbles and he trips and he like hits his
Yeah.
nose and he
That's
or something like that, and then they just have to reset everything, bring it back, and blah 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 blah.
One cool little thing I noticed, and this isn't throughout the entire movie, and in the ending, whenever they're all in the church and Mila Kunis shows up,
Mhm.
and Father Dredd is trying to turn himself in, Blanc plays the Phantom of the Opera on the organ, yes, and I noticed when I first watched it that he doesn't finish the song. He doesn't. It doesn't resolve, and it foreshadows how in the end he doesn't resolve the story of the murder. He doesn't finish it.
like the da 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 da. He stopped it there. Also, yeah, I love how much of a theater kid they make Benoit Blanc.
Yeah.
Because also in his
Yes.
car, the Cats Skimble Shanks was playing. Cats! Cats! Matthew Horowitz is straight, ladies and gentlemen.
I
Oh,
didn't
it's
clock
cassette
that reference
player.
because I've never seen.
Well,
Cats.
I did, and we're gonna watch it.
And that's not gonna
yes,
be an
Yes, it
episode.
will.
That will not be an
yes, it
episode.
will.
Not.
Yes,
It
it
will not
will.
ever.
I'll trick you guys into watching it.
No,
don't
you
worry.
won't.
Yes,
I'll
I will.
sooner jump out that window than watch Cats.
Honestly, I think my favorite scene in hindsight, the scene with like the inciting murder, where it's because after you've seen the movie and you're rewatching it and you're seeing it all play out, and it's like, oh, like you notice the wolf's head and his cloak, you notice all this stuff happening, and then just the architecture and the decadence of the church, how they frame it, it really reminded me of oh god, that Amy Schumer movie, If I Wasn't Pregnant, I'd Kiss You. I don't know. It just reminded me of like a scene where like Kevin James's character, forget his name, but like he's like in the church and like he's confessing to this,
yeah.
and the framing of it is very much
Mhm.
reminiscent of the scene, and like just the realization when they're all like, oh shoot, what happened, and then you see Martha scream, and like at first it's like, oh okay, she's freaking out because then sure Witch just died, but then it's like, oh no, it's a distraction.
Yes.
And
Like
it was just really well done.
The scene where Judd and Blanc are in the office,
Good segue. Yeah.
like after Cy leaves and they're searching for the Swiss account code. I mean, Judd is just rummaging through everything. He's completely like he's stopped listening to his inner voice telling him that the church is more important, that the forgiveness of these people, that the forgiveness of the Lord is more important than finding justice, and getting his revenge. He's just completely stopped listening to himself.
Yeah.
And to top it off, when he destroys Jesus, literally destroys
Yeah.
Jesus. And then he gets the phone
With the
call.
head of Jesus.
Yes, with the head of
He
Jesus.
destroys
which
Jesus
I
with
thought
the
was
head
really
of
cool.
Jesus.
He takes a bust of Jesus and destroys Jesus. And then he calls Louise, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And
That scene.
she is
Oh,
just talking and talking and talking, and he has just stopped listening. He isn't listening to a word that she is saying. He's talking over her. He has just completely lost his way. And then she says, "Can you pray for me?" And he kind of realizes that I shouldn't be seeking vengeance. I should be helping the people at my church.
Yes.
Yes.
And he listens. And that's just, I think, is the most impactful scene in the entire movie.
Yes.
I almost cried watching it again for this,
Impactful.
which was kind of cast onto you too, because when he calls Louisa first, Nate, your first reaction was "Shut the fuck up! Why does he keep talking?"
Yeah, what I need to know, Louise, is right.
Shut up, Louise. Just, I really was like, oh my god, can you shut up? Can
Yeah.
you, the plot needs to get going. This lady is. I was so wrapped up in I was kind of like in Blanc's mindset in that scene. We need to solve this mystery. Come on, there's more important things to be doing than just yammering on and on and on and on. And then I was set into Judd's mindset of, oh crap, maybe I should be connecting with these characters instead of just thinking plot move, like move the plot forward. Come on. So, I know it might not be as like literal of an impact as it was for me, for most audience members, but I think that was a really special moment that I don't think I've really had with any other movie. Of like, I'm in the mindset of one character, and then by the end of the scene, I come to the same realization as another. I think that's really cool.
You go.
Do you want me to go? I've been going a lot.
I have been going a lot more than
We've
We've
okay.
been going.
So,
a lot.
We've been going equal.
A
amounts.
factor of this movie that I really appreciate, especially in terms of like modern cinema, is this Wake Up Dead Man is not afraid to take place in the modern day. Because a lot of mystery movies, a lot of like horror movies, they do this thing where it's like they make up a reason why this character doesn't have their phone on them, why they don't have like technology with them. This movie takes full advantage of the fact that we are in like the 21st century, we're in the 2020s. Everyone has this stuff on them. Everyone has motion cameras. Everyone has phones. Everyone has like a way of viewing what happens at all times, and it uses it to its advantage. The whole blood device has happened like with technology. The whole entire like how they see the meeting and stuff with a size phone is using the technology, and even like the sense of modernism carries over to like Sai's character motivations. Jake, I think you mentioned it earlier, with him just being like, oh yeah, like, oh, I tried to go against the trans agenda, I tried to go for the trans agenda, like it just using it as a way to like to a further ends. And I also liked how with these modern themes, they didn't half-ass it. Like the security camera footage, a lot of movies where I've seen them like use the footage, it looks as good as the normal camera footage. Mm-hmm. They made the security camera look like a security camera. It's pixelated. There's a timestamp on it. Like, it lags a bit. Like, they went to that effort of making the security camera footage look different and worse. It's a case where making the footage look worse actually helps accentuate the point of the scene and of the movie. And so I really appreciate how they don't shy away from the modernism. I know Glass Onion took place during the COVID pandemic, so this isn't like a new thing for the franchise. But I really appreciate how they just go in full force, like we're in the present day, even with all these these seemingly archaic themes of religion. Like we still have the modern tech, the modern ideals, and this is how it's gonna work. And I very much appreciate that. Hey, you were taking some notes about like your clues about the mystery.
Yes, I did.
Go to that.
Yes, we've been talking a lot about the themes and like the emotions and feelings of this movie, but I want to talk about the mystery because this is my first time watching this, so we can see what you guys think about.
You have seen it at this point.
No, I have seen it.
So
it's off the haven't seen it list, but I want to hear what you guys think about rewatching this movie. But first, I would like to see if I can find in the list of like 10 note pages that I have all the clues that I noted and also my notes on the characters.
Yeah.
So cut this bit out because it's going to take me a minute to find it.
Well, while you're finding that, just a little funny thing. When Judd falls in the mud, that's almost exactly how I broke my arm the second time. Let's see if I can unbutton this and show off my wicked scar. this wicked scar down my arm because I was running in the mud and I fell because I'm a moron. And then it snapped right before I had to do the show Grease. And so it was a real nightmare having to get the cast on and everything. Because it was the second time it happened in less than a year. And this movie reminded me of it. So that was great. I love that. Thanks, Ryan Johnson, you bitch. Yes, yes, Jake.
I like in this movie how it doesn't. It never at one point does a character look at the camera, look you in the eyes, and say, "Religion is bad," or "You need to be religious." They never say that, and they let you draw your own conclusions about what you think religion is, and the religion is just kind of used as a thematic element.
Yeah, it's a plot device, and that's not a bad thing.
It is a plot
It's a
device.
plot device, yeah.
Alright, okay.
All right, you found your
I found
notes.
all my notes.
It's interesting that Ryan Johnson does this in these movies, is that he takes a clue and he hides it with a joke. Because Wicks goes, "I envy the material wealth of men. I masturbated."
For the next one, I wrote a description of the harlot whore. I gave her her own note page. Her name's Grace. She's Josh's mom. She wanted the grandfather to die, or at least that's what Martha said, but it was really her dad. Destroyed church in a rage. I clocked that she definitely didn't destroy the church in a rage. I figured out that it couldn't have been what was presented as. I have Verdit Darwin. I thought she had OCD. I thought that was gonna be a thing, just because there's a character in a TV show that I like called The Boys, who he has OCD and he taps things 3 times. And I noticed that Verdit was tapping things 3 times, so I assumed that it would come back as a important plot point that she has OCD. But honestly, the specifics of a lot of the background characters, besides Jeremy Renner, didn't really matter. Her dad was Wix's drinking buddy, and then Sai, that was it. Because I wrote Said by mistake as his name. And then I put failed politician, illegitimate brother of Verda. So then for the rest of my notes, I just wrote Said as his name. I thought his name was Father Chud at first. I heard Father Chud. It's Judd. I don't know why I thought it was Father Chud. So the note page for Father Judd is Father Chud. The clues that I clocked, I noticed, I knew that the tomb door was going to be important. I thought how the whore died was going to be important.
How Grace died.
Sorry, I forgot her name. I forgot her name was Grace.
She's
She's called the harlot whore for
Yes.
the entire movie.
She is.
I thought how she died was going to be important, but really it wasn't. I knew the Jesus box was going to be important, which was the Eve's apple. La Evil apple. I thought the script that the crazy right-wing guy was writing was going to be important.
Yeah.
I didn't even give him a note page.
Yeah.
He just doesn't.
So okay, I love this movie.
His character.
One of the things I kind of have against it is this is in every Knives Out movie. Ryan Johnson, he's done a lot to change the formula. There's always this thing where there's this big group of characters,
And the one is.
and the thing is, it's kind of, at least for me, it peaked with the first one with the Thrombies. Because then the
Yes.
second one, you get the Disruptors, and they're fine. They're a bunch of rich, gaudy people. It's fine. And then this one, it just feels like, I love that they're gonna keep making these movies. I just think they need to do something else with the victims instead of having them be it's always been a pre-established community, and I just think, in terms of how the script works, it doesn't really benefit from that.
Well, for this one, it does. He's literally running a cult.
Yeah, but because the thing is, I want to know more about these characters, but the plot of the movie does not service that.
Oh, okay. Now
So
yeah.
I see why it's there. And that's why it's not like a perfect movie for me. It's because that kind of bogs it down, because I like a lot of the actors in this. I like a lot of their performances, but it just feels like, aside from the little thing where they say it's him narrating 1 year later, this is where they all are. Like other than that,
they're
it
not
doesn't
really
really pay
important.
off too much.
Especially Lee's character.
Yeah.
I never once thought he did this.
Yeah.
Lee,
You know what
he
I
was the
mean?
crazy guy.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
never.
this guy, he was probably one of the least important characters in the. I feel like he could have just not existed.
Yeah.
And it would have been the same movie.
Yes.
Yes.
But it
He's
doesn't mean that he's a.
bad because you need people
Yeah.
to fill out
Yeah.
his.
That
his
doesn't mean that
flock.
I don't like him. That means I just.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything for the plot, but just the way the idea is had, you can't not have him because you need people for his flock.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But because he has a flock and because there's so many of them, you can't. It like self-fulfilling prophecy of sorts.
Yes.
Like just you can't have him have a group of. You can't have him have a flock, and get all the flock members to get their own personalities. But you also can't not have a flock because it's the plot of the movie.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. Another clue that I thought was important, Martha's confession. I clocked that immediately. I knew it! Immediately. I was like, this is going to be important. Because again, it's him hiding a clue as a joke that you're going to disregard. You think, he says, you need to confess, and then it shows her confessing, and then Wicks is like, oh, I'm so mortified. And you think like, oh, she must have just said something really weird and gross.
Yeah.
And that's why Wicks was mortified. But no, it was genuinely important. And I'm very happy that I clocked that. I feel very proud of that. I wrote storage closet when angry, and then I crossed it out and then wrote drinking. I figured that would be important, but that's not really a clue. That's just kind of it's a thing that happened.
I mean, the fact that he was drinking was important.
Yes, I guess it was. I guess it was. Yeah. So I'll still count that as a clue. I'll give myself a point for that. I wrote down Renner lack of reactions. I noticed that Jeremy Renner wasn't reacting to much at all, and whether that's just Jeremy Renner being a bad actor, we'll
Kept
never
logging
know.
into the camera.
Yeah, he
It
just
was
kept mogging during every single scene. He kept just like he didn't really give a shit, and
Martha.
I really hope that was intentional, and I'm gonna believe that's intentional unless I see like in an interview or something, Jeremy Renner is like, yeah, no, I didn't mean to do that.
Well, then they throw him down the stairs, so everything works.
That was so funny. I loved him going down the stairs.
The whole incident there, yeah.
The TV static was also very good.
Very intense.
I knew that was going to be important, but again, you disregard it because they throw it out as a clue because it's like, oh, this doesn't line up with him hitting the floor at all, so there's no way that it could be important, but it is. Light in the I don't know what that says.
What?
It says light in the background. But
when they're in the
when they're in the
forest,
forest,
and
yes, and the
lantern.
person walking around, I was like, I know for a fact that it's not the groundskeeper. You're supposed to think it's the groundskeeper, but I know it's not.
Groundskeeper Willie. So, aside from Benoit Blanc, because he's in all the Knives Out films, what would you guys say is your favorite character in this movie?
I wrote down for my favorite character as number
Alright.
1, Benoit Blanc. So
Well, what's number 2?
Number 2, I wrote Grace.
Why?
I love Grace.
Continue the conversation.
Because she's so integral. Her name's not Grace.
Yeah, it
Her
is.
name's it's Meredith.
Martha.
Martha.
Oh my god, I
God.
can't remember her name.
Keep it.
My second favorite character is definitely Martha. Her name is Martha. I got mad because I thought I got her
Wait.
name wrong.
Wait, who do you want to talk about here?
Martha. I'm talking about Martha. Fuck. I can't remember her name.
I thought you were talking about the
Martha.
Wix's mom, the Harlow Horror. That's what we thought you were
The
talking
Harlow
about.
is Grace.
Yes.
It's not. Why? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm having an aneurysm.
Who are you trying to talk about?
Someone else talk. I'm
Okay.
My brain's not working.
Okay, my favorite character in this movie, honestly, it's a Monsieur Wicks, just because the power that he has over these people, and like just Josh Brolin's performance throughout, it's so strong, it's so wicked. And like obviously, like he didn't rise from the dead, but the fact that he had enough influence over these people to make them believe that he would, It's just
I
it's so
believed it.
shocked me.
I'm not kidding. For a minute, I was like, I'm really gonna hate this movie because it's
Yeah.
gonna. There's no way he didn't rise from the
Yeah,
dead.
yeah. You thought the dead man woke up.
Yeah, I thought he woke up dead, man.
All right, Nate.
Uh,
Who's your favorite character?
favorite character, probably Martha.
Okay.
Martha, or maybe Judd, because Judd's arc just speaks to me personally. As someone who used to go to the church and be very involved with it and be
Yes.
very religious, and then was kind of, I turned away from it for a long time because the church that I used to go to is not the greatest, and it holds a lot of views that I don't agree with at all in the slightest. And seeing Judd have conflicting feelings about religion, but ultimately deciding to spend his mission statement as a pastor to bring love to the wicked, I think that is just a beautiful way of showing positive religion.
All right, Jake. Favorite character?
It's weird. I'm always a sucker for the characters who are there, but they're not extremely important. You know what I mean? Like I never have my favorite character being the main character. I think my favorite was Samson. I really liked how he was the only genuine person there. His love towards Martha and his total devotion towards her, and the fact that he was the only one positively influenced by the church.
Yes.
And then he still died because of it. I thought it was very impactful.
All right, so 1 to 10 scale, what would you guys rate the movie out of 10?
I'm always very generous. Like in terms of our rankings, I'm probably always going to be giving a lot higher numbers than you guys. I would say that's like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like that was really good. I really loved it. I wouldn't say it was perfect, but mostly just because of the flock. But because like the flock's characters not being fully developed.
Yeah.
But only having one problem that I have with a movie, it means it's pretty damn good. So I'd say 9 out of 10.
I would also give it a 9 out of 10.
Well, this makes it a lot more boring because the first time I was looking at my original Letterboxd review, I remember the first time I saw this movie, I was really dissatisfied with the Eve's Apple reveal for some reason. I was like, oh, it's just a gem. I don't know why. I thought the fortune was gonna be more of like a figurative thing, but actually like seeing like it all play out for the second time with that known context, it doesn't really bother me. But yeah, just the lack of character finality and development with some members of the flock, that does kind of put it down for me. So like, which I mean, everything else is still incredible. So like, I originally gave it an 8. I think I'm bumping it up to a 9, just because the Adam's Apple stuff really improved it for me.
So my whole spiel about how we're all gonna have different scores and how mine's probably gonna be higher than your guys' score is useless.
Yeah,
Now,
and it's still gonna be in.
It's still gonna, we're gonna keep it in. So that's I think that wraps up our discussion of See the Dead Man Walking. No! That's not the name of the movie!
It's not. It's not. Wait, what did we just watch? So wait. Nate, Nate, I'm confused. What did we just watch? What was the name?
Fuck you is what we watched.
We watched Fuck You.
Well, fuck you.
well,
fuck the
well,
movies.
well,
fuck this podcast.
Well, that
I
was
quit.
kind of dissatisfying then, because I'm not fucked.
I think that that wraps up our discussion of the movie.
Yeah.
My name is Nathaniel Stoner, and now I have seen it.
What was the name of the movie you saw, Nate?
They saw the dead man walking.
What's the actual name of the movie, Nate?
So I think that wraps up our discussion of Wake Up Dead Man. I am Nathaniel Stoner, and now I have seen it.
Yeah. I'm Matthew Arskowitz.
I'm Jacob French.
Yeah, and next week, we are watching the film Batman, 1989, directed by Tim Burton. Now, last episode, we promised we would watch a movie. I saw the TV glow. Now, we did that back when the film was available on Tubi, the classic streaming service, Tubi, where I watched it a few weeks ago. It is no longer on there. We have no way of watching it.
Yeah.
So So we did Wake Up Dead Man. We did this episode, and next we're going to do Batman, a film I have seen, and these two haven't seen it. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
I can't even read that word.